Now this is part of a question on well, this is a question on interval and set builder notation. All right. What it says that given that the universal set is R and the following are subset thereof, subset of the universal set. So you have x equal the interval negative infinity and 10, y equal negative 48 and positive infinity, z equal 1 and 17. So with the aid of a number line, determine the following: x minus y. Alright, so with the aid of a number line, let's put this number line here. This is x. Now x, let's say you have 0 here, you have 10 here. Now here, the curve bracket, that's always beside an infinity sign, because you cannot point to a particular number and say that is infinity, so it is included. You know, the curve bracket means less than or greater than, but not equal to. So you cannot say equal to infinity, so it's always a curve. Here you have a round bracket or curve bracket, right, around 10. So 10 is not included. So on the number line we put an open circle. So this talks about from negative infinity to 10. So x includes all the values from 10 to negative infinity. All right. Y now. Let's see what y is. So this is y. Let's say we have 0 here for y also. Negative 48 to infinity. So let's say negative 48 is here. Negative 48 is included because you have a square bracket beside it. So you put a shaded circle here. So here now, it goes to positive infinity. Alright, good. Now, x minus y. It means what is in x, but not is in y. So you're going to remove what y is. So you have x minus y. So here, it must be in x but not be in y. What are the numbers in x but not y? Alright, if you line this up, this also includes negative 48. So 0 is in both. It must be in x alone. 0 is in both. Negative 47 is in both, because negative 47 would be near to negative 48. Let's say it's there. Going up to 0 and passing that. Alright. So everything here going up are in both of them. It must be in x alone, because you're talking about x and you remove y. So here now, you have this part, x, oh, I have it up here, x minus y. You could write it as negative infinity 10 minus negative 48 infinity. You could write it like that if you want. But here, we can see that once we remove this overlap here, the only values we're looking at are from negative 48 below. So it is equal to negative 48, negative infinity. Well, negative infinity would be smaller than negative 48. So let's write that on the left hand side. Negative infinity, negative 48. Right? So that's what we have there. And remember here, 48 is in y, you know. It must be in x but not in y. So since 48 is included in y, you cannot write a square bracket beside 48 because it should not be included. It must not be in y. So you write a round bracket. So you're talking about less than negative 48 going towards negative infinity. After that, you have z complement in interval notation. So what is z complement? Z is 117. So we have z as a number line. Let's say we have 0 here, have 1 here, going up to 17. So z is 1 and 17, none of them included because you have round brackets beside them. So z would be between 1 and 17, right? So the complement now of z would be below 1 and also above, well, 1 would be 1 or below, as well as 17 and above. That's z complement. So now all of this is z complement, all of this will be z complement. So what you can say is z complement includes from 1 below, 1 to negative infinity, so negative infinity 1. Since 1 was not included in z, it can be included in the complement. It would be included in the complement, so you can put a square bracket here. As for what happened over here, 17 up to positive infinity, all right? And it would be a union sign between these because you're not looking at any overlap. So it's union. So that's what you would get for that answer. All right. So that those were in interval notation. Then they ask you to do y intersect z. No, x intersect y union z in set builder notation. All right. X intersect y union z. Now, let's just erase this here and use the space since we already have a set of number lines for x and y. We'll use those again. So, x intersect y, meaning you're looking at an overlap here. So x intersect y would be all the items that are included in both. Negative 49 is not included in the intersection because negative 49 is in x but not in y. And negative 49 would be outside of where y starts. Y starts from negative 48 going up. So Negative 48 is included in y, right? And it would be a square bracket because it's included. So going up, all of these are included, negative 47, negative 46, and so on, going up to 0, 1, 2, no, up to 10. 10 is included in y, but 10 or less is included in x, so you put a round bracket here. So here now, we have this part. Now that union z. So we have negative 48, 10, union, what is z? That is 117. 117. Alright. So now, what we're told to do is use set builder notation. Alright. So the values you're talking about range from a low of negative 48 to a high of 17. So I'm going to use set builder notation to represent it. We're going to have your curly bracket. X is such that x is greater than or equal to negative 48, and negative 48 is included, right? Let me write it, giving it some more space. So negative 48, x is greater than or equal to negative 48, but it is less than 17. So that's what you have there. Let me just draw this line a little longer so it doesn't look like x1. Sometimes x colon is used to say x is such that. Alright? So that's what we have for our answer to this question.